Thomas Edison's last words were, "It's very beautiful over there. I don't know where there is, but I believe it's somewhere, and I hope it's beautiful." My name is Hallie, and I'm going to be talking to you today about 3 books that deal with death and dying. First up is a book that I just read you the last lines from, a book that's obsessed with last lines. It's called Looking for Alaska by John Green. This is a story about Miles Halter, a boy who moves from his hometown in Florida to seek his great perhaps at a boarding school in Alabama. Miles instantly makes friends with a ragtag group of teenagers made up by the eccentric Alaska Young, the hilarious Colonel, and the somewhat strange Takumi. Miles instantly falls in love with Alaska. He loves how unique she is, what she says about suffering, and how she teaches him about himself. So when one of Miles' friends dies unexpectedly, he has to use the tools that Alaska has taught him to evaluate his life and his legacy. Miles questions who he is, why he's here, and what it all means in life after death. You can pick up this book today to find out which of Miles' friends bites the dust, and what Miles discovers as he goes to seek his great perhaps. For the next book, I want you to picture living with someone who is technically still alive, but whose soul was killed long ago. I'm not talking about living with zombies or Casper the Friendly Ghost. I'm talking about living with a soldier, one who has severe PTSD, one who teeters on the brink of life and death on a daily basis. For Hallie Kincaid in The Impossible Knife of Memory, this is her everyday life. Her dad's a retired Army captain who has settled semi-permanently in his childhood home in upstate New York after spending 5 years of life on the road as a truck driver trying to escape his demons. Everything's great at first. Hallie makes friends at school, gets a boyfriend, and looks forward to coming home to her father every night. And then her father loses his job. And then he loses his sobriety. And then his sanity. Grab this book to find out if Hallie can save her father from himself, and how much of herself she'll have to sacrifice to save the people that she loves. In the next book, I'm going to talk about the pretty girl. You know, the one with the reputation. We all know this girl. Maybe you are that girl. Maybe you love her. Maybe you hate her. If she's anything like Hannah Baker, you may very well be next on her list. What list am I talking about? The list of reasons why Hannah Baker killed herself. In 13 Reasons Why, we get an in-depth listen to Hannah's suicide note in the form of cassette tapes passed from between 13 people who she says directly contributed to her committing suicide. Read this heartbreaking novel to find out if you would be on her list, and consider the ways that our everyday actions can impact the people around us in ways that we might never know. Happy reading.